Vedanta Swaminithi Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachani Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Desatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gauravata Vinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Patita Pavan Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणी वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्ण भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकम् भक्तावतारं भक्ताक्षं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining our Kathāmṛtam session. We are very grateful once again to all of you for joining and inspiring us to share some glories of Lord Krishna and his devotees. So we are in introduction chapter of Krishna book with Srila Prabhupada's mercy and with all the causeless mercy of the Vaishnavas. We have entered the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam last time. So we heard that in the last chapter of 9th canto, how Sukadeva Goswami, he just gave a trailer of Krishna's pastime in 2 verses. And also a trailer of Lord Krishna's beauty as well. How Sukadeva Goswami, he spoke so nicely, how the gopis were so much of affection, having so much of affection for Lord Krishna, that they were feeling that a moment of separation or a blink of separation from Krishna is unsurmountable, like intolerable. And they were even not hesitating to even chastise Brahmaji, because they were saying that, oh Brahmaji, yes, you are the Medhavi, you are the Swayambhu, but still you are the creator and origin of all the universe. But you have created this product as called human being, and it has this bug. What is this bug? You have this mimis, this blinking eyelids, which is really separating us to enjoy that feast. Nityotsavan natrupudrasivhi pivantya narya naras mudita kupita nimescha. So the gopis were saying that we are about to release the feast through our eyes, the beauty of Lord Krishna, but somehow we are not able to do so. Yes, Sukadeva Goswami was also thinking, yes, I have spoken so much now for 4 days, and he must be tired. Now just let me give a sarangs, the summary of Krishna's pastime in 2 verses. But then we heard that how Parikshit Maharaj is begging, is earning, he's requesting, oh Muni Sattama, you are the king of the Munis. And now I would really like to hear Bada Vistara, I don't want to really, hear something in shortcut. We are giving that example. If we are going to some guest house and somebody is really offering hundreds and thousands of dishes of desserts and different pakwans, and we cannot say that, oh, I'll just take the curd rice. So the Lord is given like the best of the Puranas, Vedas, Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 335 chapters are there, and the 90 chapters which is there in 10th canto, they are of Lord Krishna. Of course, I think in one of the Bhakti Vriksha groups, somebody was asking, how many incarnations Lord is having, and especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, in the 3rd chapter, there is a beautiful verse, Sutta Goswami. There are just like waves in a river or an ocean. Similarly, there are asankhya pastimes of the Lord. And last time we're defining was Ananta. When Ananta says he is not able to glorify, enumerate the form, qualities, pastimes of Lord Krishna. Yes, definitely. It's Harikatha Ananta. But then we were also discussing some time back that, we are like these small ants. We don't have the appetite of big elephants who are like the Paramhamsa Acharyas. But whatever they have left while they are eating, they are releasing, they are chewing, whatever is falling down a little bit from their lotus mouth, we just release it as small ants, and we can really drown ourselves with that mercy, with that nectar. So here, the devotees, that's why, he always says that, no, we want to hear in detail. And there is a nice verse once again, I wanted to share with you how the devotees are saying again and again to the Lord. Srutasya pumsam suchira sramasya nanonjasa suriviriditartha tattad gunanu sravanam mukunda padara vindam hridayeshu yesam. And it talks about what is the quality of a devotee, what is the quality of a hearer. And Srila Prabhupada says again and again, please hear this, very important statement Prabhupada says, eagerness to hear is the first qualification of a devotee. So how we develop that eagerness to hear Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha, Prabhupada writes, yes, the Katha that is coming from the lotus mouth of the Lord, or the narrations of the pastimes of the Lord. And how? And it's a Nanu Anjasa Surivir Iditartha, right? Like, and they want to hear in detail that Gunanu Sravanam, all the qualities of whom? Lord Mukunda. And that's how we can really develop attachment, for the Lord and his devotees. Okay. So we somehow spent, a little bit time as well about the Surya Vamsa and Samavamsa, and then how Parikshit Maharaj said, yes, I have heard about all of them, but now I want to focus only on Krishna's pastimes. And then we started the discussion with that beautiful verse. What is that? 10.1.4, where Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Nebhrūta tarshe upagiyamana bhavo sadsrotra manobhirama kauttama sloka gunanubhada puman virajeta vina pasuknat. So there, Parikshit Maharaj is saying how this Krishna Katha is applicable for everybody. Everybody can get benefited out of it, and especially three kinds of people. Who are three kinds of people? Either who are already liberated, or who are in this process of liberation, this mumuksus, or mukti ichus, or bhakti ichus. Or the third category, they are like the karmis. They are all still engaged in a lot of sense gratification activities, but still, they feel, oh, this music, this pastime, it's so entertaining. Manobhirama, right? Yes, either somebody hears like this Lord Krishna's pastime as a nice entertainment, or the conditioned soul who hears it as a medicine. Bhavo ausadha. Yes, somehow or other I have come into this bhavasagar, and now if I take this Krishna Katha as a medicine, this will really take me out of this bhavasagar. Or the muktas, nibruta tarsher, who don't have anything to do with any desires of this world. Even they release hearing Krishna Katha. And what? Uttama sloka gunanuvada. Once again, we always hear, what are like in Katha means, Nam Rup Gunalila. That's a Hari Kirtan, Hari Nam Kirtan, Hari Rupa Kirtan, Hari Lila Kirtan, Hari Guna Kirtan, like, So the description of the Lord can be, various ways. And whoever, and only the one kind of a person is there, who not have attachment to hearing Lord's pastime. Puman virajita bina pasugnat, who are the killer of the animals, who are habituated to killing of the animals. Or Prabhupada says another meaning is also that who is not interested, somehow or other in this process of self-realization, he's attached, only to enjoy. Don't have any tinge of inclination to progress in this path of self-realization. So, like, we also realize that if we don't have attachment, for Krishna Katha means, yes, we are in that pasugna category. And as long as we are in that pasugna category of hurting the animals or hurting the other living entities, we cannot get test in Krishna Katha. So that's how we had paused last time, and now we'll proceed to the next. Yes, we have been reading from this Krishna book, which we started from the introduction, and here we are almost there towards the last part of it, where we heard that how here we are just hearing this, that how this book Prabhupada is writing very beautifully. Krishna Katha will be, just we discussed that. Yes, this Krishna Katha will appeal to the liberated souls and to who are liberated and to the materialist. And yes, and Parikshit Maharaj was so fortunate to hear from Sukadeva Goswami. And then we hear that, like we talk about the Pasugna. So he is a Pasugna. Who is a Pasugna? Who are really killing the animals, or who are interested in hunting or opening slaughterhouses. Such persons cannot be interested in Krishna Katha. And then Prabhupada is saying that how King Parikshit Maharaj was especially interested in hearing Krishna Katha because he knew that his forefathers, particularly his grandfather Arjuna, were victorious in great battle of Kurukshetra only because of Krishna. We may also take this material world as a battlefield of Kurukshetra. Like what Prabhupada is saying, that especially Parikshit Maharaj wanted to hear the pastimes of Krishna because Krishna, he heard that, like Krishna, how Krishna had done everything for Pandavas, and especially how he was a friend of Krishna, who is his grandfather, because Arjuna's son is Abhimanyu, Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit. So then somebody said that, okay, there was a relation between Parikshit and Krishna, but what is our relationship with Krishna? Why should we hear? Prabhupada is answering that. Oh, we may also take this material world as a battlefield of Kurukshetra. Everyone is struggling hard for existence on this battlefield, and every moment and at every step there is a danger. According to Maharaj Parikshit, the battlefield of Kurukshetra was just like a vast ocean full of dangerous animals. And his grandfather Arjuna had to fight with such great heroes as Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and many others were not ordinary fighters. And such warriors are compared to Timingala fishes. And this Timingala fishes can easily swallow big whales. And these great fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra could swallow many Arjunas very easily. But simply due to Krishna's mercy, Arjuna was able to kill all of them. Just as one can cross with no extension over the little bit of water contained in the hoof print of a cow. So Arjuna, by the grace of Krishna, was able to very easily jump over the ocean of battle of Kurukshetra. So here, let's go back to this beautiful episode that Parikshit Maharaj is remembering. What is it? It's the most difficult for the Pandavas and the Lord to go through that Kurukshetra war, but it was needed because they tried their best to protect everybody, to establish a dharma, but all the Kauravas headed by Duryodhana, they didn't listen, and then the Kurukshetra war started. And we know that how these Kauravas were led by so big Maharathis like Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Karna, and Duryodhana, and Dushasana, and so many were there. And not only that, they had also this 11 Akshoni of Sena, as compared to like 7 Akshoni in this side of Pandavas. And then the fighting was going on day over day, and thousands of soldiers were getting killed. And somehow Duryodhana was getting restless because his brothers were getting killed, his commanders were getting killed. And on the Pandava side also there were losses, but not as much as in Kaurava's side. And this is the day of eighth day of the war. In the evening, Duryodhana comes to the tent of Bhishma, Pitama Bhishma. And we already hear in this Bhagavad Gita first chapter, all of you have heard this. He feels that, Bhishma and Drona, they have some soft corner towards the Pandavas. Maybe that's the reason they are not fighting with all their strength. Because who is Bhishma? Bhishma, he is known for his strength. He is personally blessed by Parsuram. He is a student of Parsuram. And being a student also, he could defeat his guru, Parsuram. And he was trained by Vasishtha, Sanat Kumar, Brahaspati, and Sukracharya, and so many. Nobody can really defeat. And even he had received this Ichha Mrityu. Nobody can kill him unless he wanted to die. He's such a powerful fighter. And nobody could really stand in front of him the way, like every day he was really killing tens and thousands of soldiers all alone. Right? But still, right, Duryodhana was coming and really was trying to taunt. Maybe I think things are not going in the right direction because some of the commanders of our army, they are not fighting to their full potential. You can see the pain of Bhishma Dev. He wanted the Pandavas to rule the Hastinapur, but because he was loyal to the Hastinapur kingdom, especially like now the king was really Dhritarashtra, and he was to follow them. Because of that, he's really now fighting on behalf of the Kauravas. And then he's trying his best, but still, somebody is saying to you that, you are not doing your job properly. How much painful it would be for Bhishma, because last week only we had a Bhishmastami. So maybe we can glorify Bhishma, because Bhishma, let's understand, yes, most of the times people have those misconceptions that, like, Bhishma is, like, because he fought, along with the Kauravas, right, Duryodhana, he is also like demoniac, evil person. But Bhishma is considered one of the Mahajan. He's a so dear devotee of Lord Krishna. And why then he fought? Just to establish and just to tell the whole world that even if you are a person like Bhishma with so much of strength, but if you are on the other side of Krishna, you will be really defeated. And that's what he wanted to showcase. So yes, nothing can really stand against Lord Krishna. So here on this 8th day evening, Duryodhana is taunting Bhishma that, you are not fighting to your full potential. And Bhishma really got, once again enraged. How come you can really, doubt me? We are really putting so much of, effort, and we are killing so many, soldiers of the other side. How can you do that? And Drona then they said, no, like at the same time, here to pacify Bhishma, he fell on the feet of Bhishma and said that, no, I want you to kill Pandavas anyhow. And then Bhishma also said, yes, we will do it. And then Duryodhana also said, but if you are not willing to do it, then please come down from this as a commander-in-chief of Kaurava. And because of you, Karna, my friend Karna, is not coming and participating in the army. So there is a different episode we'll discuss sometime later, how Karna was also so selfish, right? But we'll talk about Karna episode a little later, because there is also a lot of misconception about Karna as well with a lot of people. But anyway, so Duryodhana was saying that how, yes, if you don't want to fight with your full strength and might, please come down, and then I will have Karna, because he really taken the vow that he will kill Arjuna. And hearing that, once again, it pierced the heart of Bhishma and said, he took out, the 5 golden arrows, from his armor, and he laid down on the ground and he chanted some Vedic mantras, and he, put his full potency, into those 5 arrows. And he said, tomorrow, I promise that, with these 5 arrows, I will kill the Pandavas, unless Lord Krishna comes to save them. And but at the same time, Lord Krishna had taken this vow that he will not fight, he will not hold his weapon. So it's for sure that Pandavas will be killed tomorrow. And hearing that, Duryodhana was so happy. He started clapping and praising once again Bhishma. Yes, nobody is greater than and mightier than you, Pitāmaha. Thank you very much. But still, he had some doubt. We don't know about Bhishma, and then we don't know about that supreme, clever person. Who is that? Lord Krishna. He can do anything. He might come and take it from Bhishma. So, he said to Bhishma, if you don't mind, I will take these arrows and I'll keep it safe. And tomorrow morning, I'll give it to you. He said, okay, so be it. And then Duryodhana took these 5 arrows. And the other side, like Yudhishthir and all his 5 brothers, like all other 4 brothers, along with Lord Krishna, they were sitting together. They were thinking, what has happened? And what is the story of that day? And then, they were having a mixed feeling, because they were seeing that how soldiers were getting killed. At the same time, they didn't have as much loss as the Kauravas. Then Krishna reminded them, at any point of time, right? Like the Kauravas, they can do any kind of devil means to really defeat us. So let's be careful. And as we are thinking, they might be having some devising some other means, and thinking like that, then he was really thinking, okay, what's happening? And all the brothers went to their tents and to take rest. But then Krishna was strolling, and then Arjuna, he saw that, Madhav, why you're strolling? Why don't you really take rest now? And then Krishna said, oh Parth, why don't you understand? Now, yes, you are taking rest, but I have to think of tomorrow. Yes, Madhav, because you are thinking I'm taking rest. No, it's not the time for you to take rest. Now you have to do one thing. What I have to do right now? Yes, I'll do tomorrow, whatever you say, I do that. No, there is some activity that to be done right now. What I have to do, Madhav? And I said, okay, now you get up and go to Duryodhan's tent. For what? Do you remember? He had given you like condition, and right, like, because at some point of time you had saved Duryodhan from the Gandharvas. You had saved the Duryodhan from the Gandharvas, and like, though he was not willing to take that help, but in a desperate situation he took that help. And at that time he said that, I will also save you. I will also grant you any boon that you would like. That I want to repay. I don't want to live in debt. And then you had said that, yes, at the right point of time, I will ask, and it is the right time. You go and ask Duryodhan, what should I ask? I'll do whatever you say. Go and ask that this is what has happened, and take those 5 arrows from Duryodhan. And then, yes, especially they were fighting Pandavas and Kauravas whole day, but in the night, they were having little friendly atmosphere. And so as Arjuna approached the tent, and all the soldiers and the guards, when they saw, they exchanged their greetings, and Arjuna went into the Duryodhan's tent. And once Duryodhan also saw that Arjuna is here, he got up and said, Arjuna, how come you are here, and how can I help you? And Arjuna said, give me those 5 arrows. Duryodhana's heart dropped. How did you know about those 5 arrows? How did you know about those 5 arrows? And then Arjuna said, how did I know? Yes, I'm a mortal. I don't know anything. I'm just going whatever my friend Krishna is saying. Krishna said, you go and bring. And I have come to bring. I have come to take it. And then Duryodhana was thinking, oh, yes, is it Krishna is really a God? If he's really God, then like the whole Kauravas would have been really finished by this point of time. We have heard also that, like, he is bitten, black and blue, right, in Vrindavan by his friends. Definitely he cannot be God. And he is known as Chor, he's a thief, and how can be a God? No, once again he was thinking, no, Krishna cannot be God. You see, like, or even Krishna had showed him also the Virat Rupa also. At that time also Duryodhana couldn't. You see, like, the demoniac mentality person, they cannot recognize the Supreme Lord. Even if the Lord is in front of them and manifesting so many pastimes as well. That is the difference, between a devotee and demon. Devotee can recognize and acknowledge and appreciate Lord's presence or Lord's hand in every situation. But the demon, with so many, situations, so many instances, but still he cannot understand how everything is ordained, through the supreme will of the Lord. And then, yes, Arjuna came back, but the Duryodhana could not sleep on that night. And next day morning, he approached Bhishma and he told, Bhishma smiled. Yes, that is a will of the Supreme Lord. Definitely, he is there to save the Pandavas. So as long as Krishna is there, nobody can, kill Pandavas. At the same time, Duryodhana reminded once again, Pitama, yesterday you had vowed, right, to kill Pandavas. Where is your vow now? Yes, though I cannot give or I cannot empower once more these 5 arrows, but I try my best, right, to kill the Pandavas, and especially Arjuna, unless Krishna comes in the front. And yes, once again, a huge fight started, and like Bhishma was fighting like hundreds of Bhishmas on that day, because he knew that, like, now the final days has come for him, to showcase himself and to show his birya ras. And then he started fighting so hard. And this is this beautiful, this beautiful moment where Bhishma was fighting and showing all his arrows, and then Krishna could not tolerate that his friend Arjuna is really being thrown with so many arrows. And then he saw that there was a chariot wheel, and he lifted that wheel, and he was about to come and really kill Bhishma with so much of anger. You see his Anga Bastra is really getting thrown out, and Arjuna is really holding his leg. Oh Krishna, please don't break your promise. You have taken that vow that you will not lift the astras. It will be so much of disrespect to you and your devotees. Please don't do it. And Arjuna is saying that for my devotee, I can do anything. For me, my vow is not important. For me, and the protection of my devotee is important. And here, he was referring to both. Yes, he was trying to protect Arjuna, and at the same time, he was also trying to keep the words of Bhishma, because Bhishma had said that, yes, and I want my Krishna to, hold the weapon. Of course, like Krishna was not holding a weapon; it was just a chariot wheel. But then, this is how, like, Lord, he can do anything, right, to protect his devotee. And you cannot believe, Bhishma, he was so mesmerized by this scene, how Krishna is coming with so much of anger to fight with Bhishma at his deathbed, at his bed with full of arrows. When at the final moment, when Krishna appeared in front of him, and along with the Pandavas, Bhishma said, "Oh my Lord, I want to see that your birya ras, how you are coming, with that so much of anger with me, just like Mother Yasoda want to see Krishna in that Balya form, right? Or the gopis, they want to see Krishna in that Shyam Sundar form. Similarly, Bhishma, as a devotee in the birya ras, he wanted to see Krishna in that fighter form, and that was his mood. how he was really meditating. But coming to the point, what we are saying is that how Parikshit Maharaj is remembering that how Lord Krishna saved the Pandavas at every situation, especially from this Timingalas, from this big commanders like Bhishma, Drona, and so many things with so many mystical ways. And then, okay, let's go through that. So, okay, so so let's say here from Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj also. This is this beautiful verse where he's saying, this is a verse like the fifth verse. This is the fifth verse where he is talking about how Pitamha, like how Pandavas were protected from the Pitamha, like or the Pitamhas, like Arjunas were protected by the Devabrata Bhismas. And then, right, he is talking next that yes, how they were saved from the Kaurava Sanya Sagram, how in that ocean of Kaurava Sanya, how the Pandavas were protected by Krishna. And that's how he's showing his gratitude. And the next he's saying, Droni Astra Viplustam Idam Mad Angam Santana Vijam Kuru Pandavanam Jugapaksham. Like here, he's remembering one more beautiful pastime. Which pastime he's remembering? About how he was protected in the womb of Uttara. So now we are coming to one more pastime. This is the 18th day of Kurukshetra war. And where all the commanders, including Duryodhana, they were laying on the ground. And Aswathama was there, Krupacharya was there. And Aswathama was the last heir, like, and he was thinking that, okay, now I have to take charge of this Kauravas army and whoever was left. And then he said, now I have to do something. And then on the night, right, he went and he started killing, in a very heinous way. Right, and even all these 5 sons of the Pandavas were being killed by Aswathama. And next day morning, when all the Pandavas, especially led by Arjuna, they heard that, like, what kind of heinous activities done by Aswathama, they chased him. And then to give him a lesson to Aswathama. And then Aswathama realized that, oh, he has no other shelter, and he started kind of throwing a Brahmastra. And Krishna told Arjuna that now he has sent Brahmastra. You also, throw a Brahmastra, and once your Brahmastra will counteract that Brahmastra, and then you put one more arrow, withdraw true Brahmastra. And then it was done. But then Aswathama still had so much of anger, and then he had sent one more Brahmastra, towards whom he wants to kill the last heir of the Kauravas. Who was that? And at that time, this child was there in the womb of Mother Uttara, like his Abhimanyu's wife. And at that time, Uttara came running. Once she saw that, how this Droni Astra, like the Aswathama, the Brahmastra, is coming to attack and to really kill the child in the womb of Uttara, he went to Krishna, because she knew that nobody else can protect me apart from Lord Krishna. And this is a very beautiful prayer. Let's pray it in the mood of Uttara. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam teva vayam pasye Yatra mrityu parasparam. Uttara is saying, Pahi, Pahi, oh Lord, please protect me, please protect me. You are Mahayogi, you are the greatest of mistakes, Deva, Deva, you are Lord of the universe, you are Lord of the Lords, Jagatpati, you are Lord of the universe, Nanyam tvadavayam pasye. But there is no one else who can save me, Yatra mrityu parasparam, where there is a death coming, and who else can protect now? You are the only shelter for all of us. Please, please save now. And then this beautiful pastime happens. What happens? Lord, he's there everywhere as a Paramatma in an Anu, Antar Bahir Avasthitam, right? And then he took a form of just a thumb shaped, and then he went inside the womb of Uttara, like so mystical. Inside the womb of Uttara, and he started really, putting his clubs all around, and he really protected the child there. And can you believe it? How at that point of time, Parikshit Maharaj remembers all that was happening in that situation, especially any child, like any child, right? Nobody remembers what happens during the womb, or even during the womb, even after coming from the womb also, everything looks hazy, right? Like, for a child, he just by seeing some colors or some shades, right, he recognizes, okay, somebody is coming with some color, and somebody is really giving me something and things like that. But here you will be so surprised to hear how Parikshit Maharaj had remembered everything. How Lord came and to protect. That's there beautifully in this first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially in 12th chapter. What is there? He like when Uttara saw that, and how Lord then came, how he came, Angustham matram amalam sfurat puratamolinam apibya darsanam syamam tadid vasanam ochyutam. So Angustham matram, as we said, like, by the measure of a thumb, and spurata molinam, like with a golden blazing color, and with a wonderful helmet, looking so beautiful in his Sam Sundar form, and Tadit Basanaya, like a lightning form of a cloth, right? The infallible Lord, who cannot be fault at any point of time, right? He appeared, and he was seen by the child Parikshit inside the womb, and not only that, the child in the womb, he also sing. What do he sing? Srimad Dirgham Chaturbahum Tapta Kanchana Kundalam Satajaksam Gadapani Atmano Sarvato Disam Paribhramantam Ulbhakam Brahmayantam Gadamuhu. He saw that how the Lord was enriched, Chaturbahu, he was enriched with 4 hands, enriched with the molten gold earrings, and eyes blood red with fury. He was so much of angry, Lord Krishna, because he was seeing that who is related to his devotee is really being tortured, and Lord cannot, tolerate that. And as he loitered about, his club constantly circling him like a shooting star, like a ulkabham. And then what happened? Astra teja swagadaya niharam iva gopati vidhamantum sanikarse paryakshata ka iti aso. And the Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiation of Brahmastra. Just as the sun evaporates a drop of dew, he was observed by the child who thought about who he was. So here there's a very beautiful example. You can see, like, just a hit of a small light, right? Or we are not talking about a sun, but a Brahmastra, right? What kind of a temperature it could be, right? And that, right, was really counteracted by the small form of the Lord, that is like Angustha Matrena, who is appearing in that womb. And not only that Lord protected Mother Uttara, but also the child there inside. So if Krishna wants to protect somebody, who can kill? And if Krishna wants to kill somebody, who can protect? Krishna mare rakheke, Krishna rakhe mare ke. That is the faith of a devotee. That if Krishna is, if he wants to give somebody, right, nobody can really say no to it. Or if Krishna wants to take something, nobody has so many hands to keep it, right? So we should have that faith, because most of the times, we believe. We always say that we believe half-heartedly, the Supreme Lord. We believe that yes, Krishna is having so much of potent, but he might not have so intelligent. right? Yes, he knows what is good for us, and he is there to protect us. Sometimes it might happen that might not be in our own terms and conditions, but he knows what is good for us. A devotee has that faith. You see how Parikshit Maharaj at this point of time, he's offering his gratitude, that how Krishna was really there always, for Pandavas, protecting the Pandavas, and not only them, but also he himself was protected. And then, he thinks of very, wonderful way that how Krishna was really, doing everything. Doing everything for the Pandavas in various ways. He's saying that. Okay, let me share with you one more beautiful verse, where he's remembering Sarathya Parsada Sevana Saukya Dautya Virasanano Gavana Stavana Pranaman Snigdhesu Pandusu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu Bhaktim Karoti Nrupati Charana Ravinde. This is a verse from first canto, 16th chapter and 16th sloka. So as we already discussed, right, though we are in the 10th chapter, 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, but a lot of basics are there in the first canto, because we said like these are the lotus feet of Lord. So we cannot really bypass the supremacy of the Supreme Lord and directly go to the lotus feet of the Lord. Somehow that's why we are really, taking those nectars, those words of wisdom from the first canto, how Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. And this is a very beautiful verse, once again, we hear that how Lord, he Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu, where the whole universe is offering obeisances, and he's they are really taking shelter of that, the Supreme Lord Vishnu, or and Vishnu is really the part and parcel of Krishna. And he is now acting as a Sarathi. He is really acting whatever Pandavas wanted. Okay, Pandavas wanted him in the Rajasuya Yajna to have the Agra Puja. Yes, I am there. And Pandavas wanted, okay, you do this seva. All right, Krishna is there to the seva. Krishna was there as a friend. Krishna was there as a messenger of themselves, of Pandavas. Krishna was there as a night watchman. Krishna was sometimes, offering pranam to Yudhishthir Maharaj. Oh, my dear elder brother, he was saying pranam. And why? Because Snigdhesu, Pandusu, because Pandavas, their life was completely centered around Krishna. Because they had so much of faith in Krishna. Krishna was saying, how can I really leave, so devoted my associates? This is the, once again, the quality of a Lord and his devotees. As much as the devotee wants to serve the Lord, Lord also, you might have read that, right, in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter itself, right? Like, there's a nice purport Prabhupada is writing that Lord also wants to serve and more eager to serve his devotees. Who like this one, our Uddhav, he's remembering, how can I really, leave my Supreme Lord Krishna? He's not only, right, taking care of his associate, even he is dear even to the Kauravas as well. Even the Kauravas were also getting benefited because of Krishna. And how is it? How Kauravas were getting benefited? And Uddhava is saying that even all the armies who were there on the opposite side in the Kurukshetra war, they were getting benefited. Do you know how? He's saying, Tatheva Chanya Naraloka Veera Ya Ahave Krishna Mukharavinda Netre Pivanto Nayanabhirama Parthastra Puta Padama Purasya. Uddhava is saying that how my Krishna is so merciful. He's saying that because the soldiers who were on the opposite side of the army, they were purified by arrows of Arjuna, because somehow or other, if somebody is attached or connected to a devotees of the Lord, he's also purified. Parthastra Puta, like Parthastra Puta, even somebody is touched by the arrows of Partha, he's also Puta, he's also purified. You see, that's the power of somehow or other attached to a devotee. And then he's getting purified, and then that's person who is about to be killed, he starts appreciating the beauty of Krishna. And he said, Yave Krishna Mukharavinda. He started seeing the beautiful face of Krishna. And then what he's saying? Netre pivanto nayana virama. He's now releasing, he's drinking the beauty of Lord's so charming face. Netre pivanta. Like, you hear that like last time how gopis were drinking. But now hear that even the soldiers who were on the opposite side, they were drinking the beauty of Krishna's face. And then with that, definitely, Ante Narayana Smriti, that is the final test that anybody goes through. At the final moment, they got purified and they saw the beautiful face of the Lord, appreciating the beautiful face of the Lord. And definitely, they went to the supreme abode. How glorious is Lord Krishna. So how the devotees are reminding us again and somehow or other, how we should really get attached, to the Supreme Lord or even his devotees. So coming back to our Krishna book. So here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that how Parikshit Maharaj appreciated Krishna's activities for many reasons. Not only his grandfather was saved, but he himself was saved. And then by the end of Battle of Kurukshetra, right, when all were dead, right, and except these 5 Pandavas, and then he's talking about the same Brahmastra and Uttaras pastimes. Right, and then right here, Prabhupada is giving a very important message. Thus, everyone in any condition of life should be interested in hearing about Krishna and his activities, because he is the supreme absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. He's all pervading. Inside, he is living within everyone's heart. Outside, he is living as his universal form. Yet, as described in Bhagavad Gita, he appears as he is in the human society, just to invite everyone to his transcendental abode, back home, back to Godhead. Everyone should be interested in knowing about Krishna. And this book is presented with this purpose. Now we know what is the purpose of this book. What? That people may know about Krishna and be perfectly benefited in this human form of life. This book, Srila Prabhupada has presented just to know about Krishna, and we can perfect our life. So here we hear that how Krishna like doing so many wonderful activities, and by somehow or other, by being connected to Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, we really, our life gets transformed. So here we discussed how Lord is saved Pandavas, how Lord saved Parikshit Maharaj, and then Parikshit Maharaj, yes, why should I really hear about Krishna? Yes, Krishna is object of my love. Krishna is my doctor, like we said. Yes, I'm also in this Bhavasagar. This Krishna Katha is like my medicine. For me to come out of it. Bhava Osadhi, that's what we said. And then Krishna is my protector. That's why, he was, because for most of the things, it's not that okay, somebody said I should do it, but yes, I should be convinced. I should know why I should do it. And then you might ask, okay, what's in it for me? Is it not that we are also in this Bhavasagar? We also need this medicine. We are also being protected by Lord Krishna at any point of time, right? Like whether we talk about this COVID phase, that somehow or other we are here, right? Or right, even to come out safely from the mother's womb is itself, is a benediction. Like how so tormented ways, we are inside the womb, and then somehow the mother and child are somehow safe and healthy, right, after that huge complicated operations, right? That's itself. At every moment, Lord, a devotee is really grateful to the Lord, that, oh Lord, thank you for whatever you have given to us. So a devotee, is, that's why, always grateful to the Lord. That's why, he wants to hear again and again, right? So not only, yes, Parikshit Maharaj is convinced now what we should hear, and we should be also convinced that yes, Krishna Katha is medicine for us. Krishna is a protector for us. And who else? Who else is a Suhrud than the Supreme Lord? How can I really forget the Supreme Lord and go somewhere else? And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Amare ani cheez ausadhi. Like he's saying that I have brought this medicine for you. Please take it. Who else is there? Who is best friend than you? And then, like we talked about why. Then now he talks about what, Krishna is then goes and detail, okay, what I want to hear from you, Sukdev Goswami. Now, please tell me, people talk about that Balaram as the Rohini Nandan, but he also said that, he's a Devaki Nandan. How he can be the son of two mothers? How, right? He was born in Mathura, but then how he went to Braj? How he went to the house of Nanda Maharaj? Oh, right. How he lived along with his relatives, either in Vrindavan or Mathura or in Dwaraka. And how can he kill his maternal uncle Kamsa? It is mentioned that maternal uncle is as respected as father. How can he kill his maternal uncle Kamsa? And how many years he lived, right, with his descendants of the Brishni, right? And last time somebody was talking about how many wives did he marry, because at that point of time, Kshatriyas were allowed to marry multiple wives. That was also, Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know everything about Krishna, whatever is related to Krishna, and how many years did he live in Dwarka, right? And there are so many beautiful things, right, that he asked. Yes. Now we are going into the next chapter where Parikshit Maharaj, he will show his eagerness once again, that he will say that, yes, I want to hear. I'm not really worried about my thirst or my hunger, right? I want to hear why he was hungry, why he was thirsty, why he was fasting. Now is the fourth day. We'll hear that next time, and then also we'll hear what Sukdev Goswami answers, and then we'll go to the first chapter of Krishna book. We'll go to the first chapter of Krishna book, or from the 14th verse of 10th canto, first chapter, where this the beautiful pastime where all the devatas headed by Brahma approaches Vishnu for the protection, and how Lord Vishnu gives them the assurance. That's the plan for our next session. Okay, so hope you enjoyed today's session with a lot of pastimes from Kurukshetra.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any questions, comments, reflections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Mataji bole.
Oh my God, इतना अच्छे से समझाया। वो फोटोग्राफ्स आपने जो लास्ट में अभी जो आपने दिखाया, कृष्णा इज माय प्रोटेक्टर, वो वॉर्म वो वाला जो पिक्चर है ना, उसका इतने अच्छे से डिस्क्राइब किया। मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि वैसे कृष्ण भगवान सेव करते हैं, मैंने सुना भी नहीं था। और ऐसा लगा जैसे सामने जैसे कोई स्क्रीन पे मूवी देखता है या कोई सीन देखता है, ऐसे आपने ऐसे डिस्क्राइब किया कि सारा कुछ सामने दिख रहा था। जैसे जैसे आप कह रहे हो वैसे वैसे एज्यूम हो रहा है। इसके लिए बहुत थैंक यू प्रभु जी। बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैं बता नहीं सकती हूँ कितना अच्छा था आज का सेशन। थैंक यू।
It's whatever our
हरे
Acharya.
कृष्णा।
This is all our acharyas they have given us. They have given so much pakwan. We have to just release it, and most importantly, we have to also realize that yes, we are also being tormented by the different tapas, by different sufferings, and Lord Krishna only can protect us. Just like Uttara was approaching Lord Krishna in that desperate mood, with no other shelter. We have to approach Krishna in that mood. Let's think that if we approach Krishna with that ananyatvam, akinchanatvam, and completely surrender to the Supreme Lord, definitely Lord is there to protect us. But then let's I would request everybody you can just remember this beautiful verse, and you can chant at any point of time whenever you are coming across with any difficulties. Just
पाहि पाहि महायोगी
देव देव जगतपते नान्यम त्वदभयम पश्ये यत्र मृत्यु परस्परम. This is a very beautiful verse to protect us and also our children and all the living entities. Pahi pahi mahayogi deva
deva jagatpate nanyam twadabhyam pashye.
Okay, you want to repeat? Please repeat after me. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin.
Pahi Pahi Mahayogin.
Deva Deva Jagatpate.
Deva Deva
Deva
Jagatpate.
Jagatpate.
Nanyam Tadabhayam Pasye.
Anyam Tvada Abhayam Pasye.
Yatra Mrityu Parasparam.
Yatra
No. Yes, of course. Hare Krishna Mahamantra contains all the mantras, all the prayers. At the same time, some can complement these verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Because these are taken recited by Lord's dear devotees. Because then he remembers, oh, this is the same prayer I know Uttara has sung. Oh, now one more devotee who is following the footsteps of Uttara. Let me go and protect. Because हम इधर उधर का कुछ बोलेंगे लेकिन भगवान को समझ में नहीं आएगा ये बोल तो कुछ रहा है और सोच कुछ रहा है नहीं ये इसको छोड़ते हैं but then once you repeat the prayers of the the devotees who are close and Lord definitely run and come and protect us. Hare Krishna.
जी हमें उन्हीं के
Krishna.
जैसा
Thank
आचरण
you.
करना है.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Yes. Anybody else?
Sudhir Gopal Darshi. Hare Krishna sir.
Hare Krishna.
This is Srinivas Raju, Chartered Accountant.
Bro, Hare Krishna. Yes, bro, please.
Thank you sir. It's very good enlightenment today also.
Hare Krishna.
I started seeing your other YouTube channel also from the ISKCON Whitefield channel.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, now we are just trying to share whatever we have received from our acharyas, from our seniors, and nothing belongs to us. So it's just.
I think we all are grateful to Vedavyas, Sri Vedavyas.
Yes, he is literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. We are discussing that one session that how Srimad Bhagavatam is a hat trick. Anybody remembers why we called Srimad Bhagavatam as a hat trick? Because anybody remembers? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is not different than Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is not different than Krishna, and it is narration about Krishna, and then compiled by Krishna's incarnation as Vyasadeva. So that's why for a devotee, Bhagavatam is the life and soul. One of our Gurudev, like his name is Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj. He used to preach very strongly in Bhubaneswar and also all over the world. He used to say that for me a bad day. What is a bad day for us? Okay, this दिन में भी ज़्यादा बारिश हो गया, ज़्यादा धूप है, ज़्यादा ठंडी है, या अच्छा खाना नहीं मिला. That's a bad day for us. But he always used to say that for me a bad day is that the day when I don't hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the day I don't speak Srimad Bhagavatam, and that should be our life. Srimad Bhagavatam Alam Puranam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. For a Vaishnava, Srimad Bhagavatam is the life and soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sudha Mataji, for your inspiration. And yes, on this Sunday evening, we'll have a special session. We'll have a special session, and because 14th February is a special day.
Yes, Prabhuji, looking forward to it.
Hare Krishna. Yes, 14th February is a special day. So many people celebrate as a Valentine's Day. So many people celebrate as a more auspicious day, especially Gaudiya Vaishnava celebrate in different ways. So we'll have a special theme on this Sunday evening called what is called? It's a fall in lust or rise in love. The fall in lust or rise in love. So that is the theme of this weekend. We'll have a special session where we'll be having a nice bhajan, and then we'll have a class and Q&A, and then we'll have our family Sankirtan as Sudha Mataji requested.
Yes, Prabhuji. So wonderful to listen to all of you. Such a wonderful devotee family. We are very fortunate to be associated with you all.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your inspiration, Mataji. So we are planning for a special session this weekend. Hare Krishna. Anything else before we wrap up for today?
Any small bhajan, Swamiji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So here like we chanted this verse. Anybody remembers? And maybe this is a very nice verse, just to respect our Prabhuji's request. We'll just do a 2 minutes of kirtan. But this is one we already chanted some days back. But this is the prayer where Mahaprabhu was chanting every day, while he was going through the South India tour. And here also he's saying Pahi Pahi. Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
So,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Hey Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Pahima. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Rama Rakshama. Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava Pahima. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki jai. So yes, we should have the desire that to always chant, this beautiful bhajans of Lord, beautiful pastimes of the Lord, and the beautiful verses of the Lord. Like a quality of a devotee is that we should be always haunted, by these Vedic sounds, and this sound, beautiful sound vibration of the Supreme Lord. And yes, we can absorb ourselves in each of the words and each of the sentences of this Krishna book. And as we saw that Prabhupada is writing, we can make our life perfect by just taking shelter of this one book, Krishna book. He has given this benediction. He has given this falastuti to all of us. And I would really like to thank everybody, how all of you have been so inquisitive and all of you have so much of eagerness. Yes, we should continue this. And let's pray for each other that we will have that eagerness to hear Krishna Katha, and our life should be always based on this Krishna Katha. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Jai Sri Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Jai Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.